Hello, everybody. It's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and welcome to my channel. We have a few people in the chat already, and I am here welcoming my friend Mel Doerr back to the channel. Hey, Mel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So tell us what's going on with you, what's going on with your channel, what's new with Mel?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I know we've been talking about this for a long time. I think the last time I screwed up, I forgot about it, and I was like, oh my God.
No worries. Yeah, shit happens, oops.
Can you say that without going to YouTube, Jill?
I don't know. I don't know. Well,
But
we'll find out. I'll let you know.
Voodoo happens. But here we are. And so, we were just talking before we went live about, you were asking if I, you know, how many readings I did in the course of a day. And typically I do 5 a day, 5 days a week. So,
Wow.
and then, I come home and I, like to cook. I love to cook, as you can tell by looking at me. And
Yeah.
then I do my YouTube channel. So I think what brought it up is we were talking about Sundays. I said, no, Sundays, my day off. I don't do anything. I lay around and watch YouTube all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I've got my Italy trip coming up. That's in October. And if people are wanting to know how to get a hold of me, you can call my office at 847-590-5411. Again, 847-590-5411. Or you can email me, meldoor.com or www.meldoor.com. I have openings. My gorilla trip, I call it. We're going to Uganda in June. That one's sold out. That one only takes 20 people. And so that one is sold out. And then I just got a tour. It's a Rhine River tour, September the 6th of 2024. And that one starts in Amsterdam. It's on a riverboat. The boats are neat. It's not like a cruise ship. These boats only hold 150 people, and the cabins are really bigger than cruise ship. Anyway, it starts in Amsterdam, comes all the way down through the Netherlands, through Germany, stops in Strasbourg, France, and then ends up in Switzerland. And so,
oh my gosh!
Now, if they book it by May the 31st of this year, that's the 31st of 2023, and all they have to do is give a deposit, and then final payment is due probably, let's see, September, August, June. Final payment will be due by June of next year, so you got a whole year and 3 or 4 months to pay for it. Anyway, if they book it by May 31st of this year, they get free airfare from anywhere within the continental United States.
By when, if they book?
They get by May 31st of this year.
Wow.
So, and if they book it by May 31st of this year, they get free airfare coach, to Amsterdam, and then we end up in Switzerland. So free airfare coach from anywhere within the continental United States.
Wow, that's an amazing deal. That's great. I'm going to have to look at that one.
It's really going to be fun. I've done it once before. This one's a newer tour. Mayflower Cruises and Tours, they're a tour operator, so they put the tours together. And if I get 15 or more people together, I get a free trip. So,
nice. That's nice. And what are you doing on that tour?
I'm not working.
Okay.
But what I do, my job is to make sure that the group I put together has the time of their life.
Aww.
My job is to make sure that everybody has a good time. And the good thing about the riverboat tours are, this one starts in Amsterdam. So when we fly to Amsterdam, we get right on the boat. And so you only have to unpack while you're on the boat. We're on the boat 7 days. And then when we get to Switzerland, we get off the boat and actually Basel, then they coach us to Lucerne. We're 2 nights in Lucerne, and that's the only time but that you have to really unpack. But Mayflower they have people waiting, representatives that handle all your luggage. They do everything.
Wow. Now I know you said when we're talking about the gorilla trip way earlier, you had said that it's a trip where if you're not really up for walking, hiking and stuff, you shouldn't go. What about this trip?
Yeah, the gorilla trip is, we're going to hike like anywhere from 2 to 6 hours into the forest to see the gorilla.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't do
And then one day to hike in to see the chimpanzees. And so I've got to start getting ready for it myself. But that one sold out. This tour, it's not that strenuous. Like every day. Well, the first day you get there, you're tired. That's actually the second day. So we're overnight on the boat. Next day we have a tour of Amsterdam.
Oh, nice.
And then I think after that they set sail, and then I think we stop in probably Cologne in Germany. We have a tour of that. So each day you're in a different village, or sometimes 2 villages a day.
Oh, wow.
But it's not. I mean, there's walking, but not a tremendous amount. And the walking's more slow. So
yeah,
you get a lot of exercise. But the good thing is, if you don't want to take any of the tours, you don't have to. You can stay on the boat and have a good time.
Wow, that sounds like one I could do. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I think you could do it. I mean, we have people on some of the tours that are on walkers.
Oh, my
not
God.
not the gorilla tour. No.
No,
But
no. Okay.
Wow. In Croatia this past summer, I had 27 people going up the coastline of Croatia, and there were some people that had knee problems and things like that. But everybody made it. I mean, there's a fly in here.
I'm sorry.
It's like,
oh, geez, yeah.
I mean, we had people ranging in age from like 35 to 81, and so
wow.
the one thing about the tours is that in the beginning everybody's real uptight and nervous.
Yeah.
But by the time the tour's over, everybody by the second day, everybody's laughing and cutting up. They're not worried about their computers. They use their iPhones to take pictures, and people a lot of them don't know each other, but they make friends that last a lifetime. And
I'm
so
sure. Yeah.
that's the magic of it. For me, the transformation, the intuitive psychic part is just seeing people let their hair down and have a good time, free of judgment and things like that. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I've traveled quite a bit. I love traveling. I just haven't done a lot of traveling in the last few years. But man, maybe I'm due. I don't know. Maybe I'm due.
Well, when we're done, I'll send you the brochure.
Okay.
Actually, Kim Copeland, Psychic Kim, is coming with us to Italy. And
oh, nice.
She is the nicest lady.
Isn't she? Yeah. I saw you guys. I saw your show. I think I watched it yesterday, and I think you recorded it a few days ago. Man, you and her, there's something very nice about the energy between the two of you. I loved that show. So, not that I don't love seeing you with other people too. I usually really enjoy watching you because, I mean, you're so gifted. You're just so gifted. It's like you're just pulling this stuff out of the sky. It's just amazing what you can do. But with her, I thought that the rapport back and forth with the two of you, I was like, I think these two could do great things. I think you could really, I don't know what, it hasn't come to me yet, but I was really, I guess moved is the word. I was really moved by it. It was cool.
I always had the ability to hook into people's energies. Some I don't connect with as well. Yeah. And that's what I try to do when I'm on somebody's show or they're on mine. Number one, I show them the utmost respect. But number two, it's that energetic exchange. And so everybody's got different energies, but I mean, that's what I like about it. But so thank you for watching. But anyway, so the trips, in fact, somebody told Linda Grindle that they had gone on one of my trips. A couple people actually told her, and they said they had the best trip and the best time they've ever had their entire lives. So that was a compliment. So you'll see, for me, I'm working when I'm on the trip, not doing psychic stuff. I'm making sure that everybody's having a good time. Can we do anything for you? Can whatever. I'm like the mother hen. It's like keep your passport separate, keep your credit cards separate. Keep your money in your front pocket.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, that's great.
So I'm looking forward to Italy. That's going to be October 9th. So the temperature will probably be in the 50s to 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in September, and well, in the Netherlands, it'll probably be in the 60s, but then the further south you get, the warmer it gets.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole Rhine River Valley, when you start getting in the Alsace-Lorraine area, like
Mm-hmm.
that's all UNESCO, and there's a castle on every hilltop, and it's really,
Oh, wow. That in itself would make it worth it for me. Just seeing that. That
and
would be
so
good.
we'll go past the famous Lorelei, in German Lorelei. We'll
Cool.
stop in Koblenz, and there'll be an optional tour. I think they charge maybe $60 or $75 to go on the Mosel River, so we can go see Reichsburg Castle. And
Hmm.
when you see it on that hilltop, it's just breathtaking. I'm not talking about Neuschwanstein. I'm talking about Reichsburg Castle. It's really amazing. So,
Wow. Oh wow. With everything that with each word that you say about it, I feel more and more like I want to go. Oh my gosh. Okay.
well, very good. They can email me, uh, www.meldoer, meldoerr.com, or they can call the office 847-590-5411. And if they want a reading, they can do the same. The office is closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
So, they
I'll put that in the description too. I'll put all your info in the description
thank
too.
you.
I have to do that after it loads onto YouTube.
And
So
then, doing YouTube and all of that. And a lot of people want me to be on their shows, but, I feel bad because I can't get back to people right away. And I don't want them to be put off. It's just that it gets so crazy busy. And the person that usually helps me with my email, she was out because she had hip replacement, but she's back
mm,
now. So, yay.
okay. Yeah, that's good. And you're one person. You can't, maybe there's a lot of us out here in YouTube. It's just maybe not possible to do every single show.
Well, I mean, I don't mind, but, it sometimes I just, like one night off for myself. For
You
myself.
have to you have to do that. You very much do, especially as a reader. You have to sort of covet your energy because that's how you work and that's your chi, that's your liveliness. That's your ability to function. So yeah, you have to protect that. You definitely have to protect
Well,
that.
on Sundays, I can sleep in, but then, we train dogs. So I'm at my office. We train dogs at my office on Sunday. So I'm there by maybe, noon, and we train uh, dogs and for like an hour and a half, and then we train Lucky for an hour, and then I got, the rest of the time to be free. So, but I love dog training. It's my hobby, and I evaluate dogs for Canine Good Citizen Advanced. So, it keeps me busy.
You
So
lead a very interesting life. Very, very interesting. I just love it. That's
I've
great.
always been into a lot of different things. I used to ice skate, but I'm too old for that now. So, you
Oh,
know,
wow.
but I tried it. I took up skydiving at 45. I haven't done that for a while.
Wow. I have a friend who skydives once a year. And I'm like, Michelle, you're like 70 years old. What are you doing? And she's like,
Oh,
yeah, well, my
go
doctor says
for
I
it.
can do it, so I'm doing it. And I'm like,
I
okay.
took up scuba diving at 40, but I don't like to do that anymore because, my heart, I mean, my heart's fine, but, you don't want to have any kind of episode underwater.
No, no,
But
no,
I love the
definitely not.
water. And so, you know, just all kinds of things. So I love to
Mhm.
dance and love to cook. Um, so I
Oh,
stay.
that's great. That's great. All right. Well, for everybody that's in the chat, if you guys want to put questions in the chat, we probably will get to them. I have a few questions here, and I think we're going to jump into the questions. Before we do, I'll do a little plug for myself. This month's meditation for whatever it's going to be on, I haven't quite decided exactly what it's going to be on, is definitely going to be on Friday, March 31st at 9 p.m. That's the meditation that usually is for some sort of healing, world healing, healing for Ukraine. Last month we did a healing for the people in Turkey and Syria, and that was a very interesting one for me to do. And of course, we're doing PoliTarology, usually on Friday nights, but it can be just about any time. And um, the astrology stuff. So I have astrology stuff that's out now for March, and I just put up one for the full moon in Virgo. I think that one posted today, actually. And then I'll be doing another astrology video about the equinox, about the vernal equinox. So that's going to be a really big. March is a huge astrology month. Huge, 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 huge. That's why I'm doing 3 different videos for
My
it.
birthday is one day after the vernal equinox on March 22nd.
Oh, happy birthday! That makes it easy to remember.
Yep.
You
know, I think my what did you say, the moon, did you say, or said something?
Yeah, the full moon in Virgo is on the 7th.
I'm Virgo riser. I'm Virgo on the ascendant.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice. I'm Virgo moon, so there you go.
My moon's in Scorpio.
You know, both my husbands had their moon in Scorpio, and my dad had his moon in Scorpio. So, oh no, I vibe very well with moon in Scorpio people. It just makes sense to me. It just feels like home. It just feels like, yep, I know that guy.
My Venus is in Aries, and people go, I go, no, it's not like you think.
Well, so yeah, so March 22nd. So you're in Aries or Pisces?
Aries.
Okay.
1 degree Aries.
Yeah. Okay. That's good too. Aries are nice people. That's my opposite.
Saturn is going into Pisces, I think, but after that it goes into Aries. But that's not a Saturn return. I think a Saturn return is when Saturn comes back to where it was when you were born. I think that's a Saturn return.
Yeah, that's right. It happens usually for most people. It happens usually twice in their life, usually between 28 and a half and 30. They get their first one. That's usually when people kind of go, I'm an adult, and then they have to get their life together. And then you have another one somewhere between 57 and a half and 60. And that's usually not as bad as the first one, unless you really ignored the first one. And then if you're lucky enough, you may have a third one when you're close to 90. So,
you know, it's funny. I had open heart surgery when I was 58. Triple bypass. So I think that must have been during a Saturn return then.
Yeah. And you know, that a lot of
lessons to be learned.
Yes. And that's what Saturn's all about. Saturn is the teacher and the taskmaster. So I have when Saturn changes signs into Pisces, he's going to be sitting right on top of my Mars, which is going to be real interesting for me, but it's in my money house. So that's going to be super interesting. We'll see if I can even stay on YouTube.
You will, I promise.
Thank you.
Could be more money coming in.
It could be, yeah, if I work real hard. And I have been working hard. And I just started a new job in January, which is more money. So I'm very happy with that. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. It's like the firm, the company is almost identical, like size-wise and what they do, because I work for law firms, as my old firm. The job, identical to what I did before, but the firm is much more with the times, much more forward thinking. And in my job, they're doing all new applications. So it's a lot of learning for me, a lot of new stuff. And I'm like, oh, I like to be busy and I like a challenge. So I don't like just sitting there doing the same thing all the time. You know, I like to be changing it up a lot. You know, I'm always trying to learn something new. And so this is this is good. It was a good move for me. A lot of my friends said, when they heard that I was leaving my old firm, they said, oh, that's great. Are you retiring? And I'm like, no, actually, I took a new job.
For those of us with ADD, I say, we don't have ADD. We're good at multitasking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's true. I think that's really true. All right. So let's see. Do we have...
For some reason I can't see the chat. I don't know why. But...
Oh, because I have to make you I have to add you in somehow in StreamYard, but I can't do it during the StreamYard. But if you want to turn on, you're on a computer, right? Mm-hmm. So if you open another browser and just go to YouTube and you can watch us and just turn the sound off. Do you want to do that real quick? And I'll talk to everybody. Okay.
On your iPhone.
Yeah, you can do it on your iPhone too. Yeah. So let's look at the chat really quick and see if we got questions. Hello, person in turquoise waving. Hi, Arlene. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Sharon. Let's see here.
Okay, I can see it now. I'm looking
down. Hi, Ivana. Hi, Jenny W.
Oh, I can see the delay.
Oh, hey, Val. How are you?
Oh, there's Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca's coming to Africa with us.
Yeah, oh, lovely. Oh, that's great.
Oh, she got her shots. Yay. All you need is your most recent COVID one and your yellow fever one. So.
Oh, I love this name. As We Heal Each Other by Purette White. Nice name. Roberta or Rebecca, Tammy, Jean, and he can dance. Oh, great. I'm just looking for questions. I don't see anything. Oh, will I meet a love relationship? We could probably get to that, Arlene, and we're mainly doing political questions because it is PoliTarology, but we could look at that. I'm not going to be real hard-nosed about that. Okay, and that's it for. Oh, and will Jamie Raskin ever run for president? So,
Ivana says it's your secret strength, multitasking. I love it.
Yes. Oh boy.
I'm looking over is because I'm looking at my cell phone. I'm looking at the chat.
Me too. I'm going like this because I'm looking at the chat. So who was
Hi,
that?
Sharon. Sharon's on. Yay. Hi, Sharon. Sharon Sipe, I think.
Yep, she was the first one on.
So who asked if they would meet?
Arlene Forney said, will I meet a love relationship?
Tomorrow at 2:30. No, teasing.
She's got to go.
The answer to that is yes. And Spirit shows me the number 14. Now, everybody knows that my timing's horrid, but it could be 14 days, 14 weeks, 14 months. It's not 14 years. And I don't see meeting online. I see it more organic. And so it could be through somebody who knows somebody or something like that. But when you meet the person, you'll just know it'll feel right with your entire being. You won't have the person feels okay, but because anytime with any of you, when you get in a new situation or you meet somebody new, that intuition is the first thing that comes through, that first thought, that first feeling. And if your intuition says he, she, or it feels okay, but that's your intuition's way of saying it ain't right. So I tell everybody, listen to your butt.
Listen to your butt. I listen to my but sometimes it just says, this hurts. Ah.
I'm sorry?
Sometimes it just says, this hurts.
I know.
Oh, I pulled a card for you, Arlene, and it is the Two of Cups, which is the love card. So my cards agree with Mel. Great. All right. Okay, so I'm going to, there was one other about Jamie Raskin. Will Jamie Raskin ever run for president?
I'm not feeling it. I mean,
yeah, I'm not getting like a big bouquet of balloons or anything on that either. I'm just
no, it's not like my psychic light bulb is going off saying
yeah.
It's not a huge yes.
I think that, with the stuff that he's going through now, I just don't think that's on his mind whatsoever. I think the guy is just really, he's dealing with cancer. And I think that I don't know how old he is, but those things tend to clarify your priorities in life extremely.
They certainly.
And yeah, right. So I don't know. Let's see what this.
It only took open heart surgery for me.
Right. Yeah. So, I think that he's, on the one hand, I think he believes that he's suffered enough by being in Congress, by being a senator. No, his wish right now is just to stay alive. That's all he's focusing on. And he's so angry at what the Republicans are doing. He's just so angry at them. He's got a big job to do. And so I think that's his plate's full at the moment. That's what I get.
When you were talking about doing your meditations, the healing meditations, I got a psychic hit for you. And it's about, how about healing for the planet, especially the endangered animals, the endangered species?
Good one.
We can do things like back to the gorillas. I don't want to, but the mountain gorillas were going extinct. And what they've done now is the money that this trip that we're doing, the licensing fees, I think it's like $500 a person, but Mayflower covers that in the cost of the trip. Though that licensing fee goes to the national parks where the gorillas and the chimpanzees are located so that they're protected. And what they did is they hired former poachers and they paid them a lot more than what they were making for poaching to be guards. And so these gorillas are coming back. And so I think, we need to watch out for the elephants because they're starting to be endangered, and the hippos and the rhinoceri. I don't know the plural rhinoceros.
Yeah.
But I think, we should send healing energy that we stop destroying our planet.
I do too. And when you were talking about the poachers being turned into protectors, what a mitzvah for them. That has changed their karma completely in this lifetime. Completely. Man, what a beautiful, wow, that just blows my mind. That's just really, really cool. And the meditation, I made a note. I'm gonna write one up for that. I think that's a very good idea. All right. So my first question that I did have on my list is I saw online that CPAC is going on. I think it's still going on until like tomorrow night or something. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was a.
You mean MAGA PAC?
Yes, MAGA PAC. Ultra MAGA PAC. Thank you. Did you hear that? With Lauren Boebert saying that she wants to be called Ultra MAGA, not just MAGA. Anyway, so Marjorie
Taylor, I call her Bibles, Babies, and Jesus. Is that the one we're talking about?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. The one that has a gun slung over her back. Yeah, that's her. So Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently is this super rock star with the CPAC crowd. And she gave a speech. She got like ovations and people cheering and whistling. And, you would more than Trump that you would think, right? So Marjorie Taylor Greene just always has a crowd of people around her. My question is, when, this is really, I shouldn't wish this for anybody, but when will we see her downfall?
Her mouth will bring her down. I mean, they show you that she spoke to that CPAC, but they were a bunch of MAGA Trumpelicans.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sure that they were probably all white people. And if there was any people of color there, they were probably paid to be there. But so just because she got all these cheers and all of that, Trump's base is Trump's base. Marjorie's base is Marjorie's base. And, a lot of these politicians don't give one hoot about the stuff they're saying. They just want to stay in power. Yeah. I call her the Ice Queen because that outfit she had on, the fashion police should have arrested her. Yeah. when she was in that House meeting, she yelled at Biden. But you have to look at that small percentage that were cheering. But if you put a room full of random people together and had her speak, I will guarantee you that 60% of them will be booing her.
Yeah.
So just because they were all cheering for her, they were for her anyway. And I'm sure they only invited people that they knew were MAGA Trumpelicans.
Oh, yeah. That's the people who go. They probably charge them to go.
Correct.
They're going to hear that the same sauce that they've been drinking.
She plays to their racism. She plays to their bigotry and their xenophobia. But I see her wings clipped. I think the best thing to do with her is we can't lose our voices. We have to speak up. But, eat popcorn, drink Coke, and watch the movie because, she'll get put in her place. Yeah. And at some point, she's going to be political dog meat. Well, even the dogs wouldn't want her, but.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, she's living proof that certain human beings really did evolve from earthworms. It's an insult to an earthworm.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But, I know people want it tomorrow at 2:30.
Yeah.
But she will, every Napoleon has their Waterloo, and she will have hers.
Yeah, I think you're right. I threw a few cards on her, and it looks like now, for her, this is a dream come true. She's sitting on the 10 of cups. She's enjoying this moment. She's enjoying the money. Boy, she raises money like nobody's business because of this. And she's feeling like she's going to get her wish. She's really loving herself right now. She's drinking the Kool-Aid, she's believing what she's saying, and that's going to pull her up short, because come up soon here we got the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. And the 5 of Swords, what I'm getting from this is that by May, I think that she's going to have real troubles to deal with. I think she's going to have, I do think she's one of the people that they're investigating for January 6th.
They are. And you know what? It's funny that she calls us racist, and that critical race theory is racist, when really she's the racist.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of the procedure. Pot call kettle black. That's kind of their playbook.
Well, they do what Donald does. The 5 Ds: divide, deceive, distract, divert, and detract.
Oh boy.
The 5 Ds: divide, deceive, distract, divert, detract. She is the one who's a bigot.
Yeah.
And she's the one who is a racist, and she is a bully until somebody stands up to her, and then she tucks her tails and run.
Yeah. And I think too that I'm glad to see that the Democrats are standing up and calling them out now as much as they are. It's great. Swalwell, Jamie Raskin, Cipollone, or no, what's his name? Not Cipollone, that's the attorney. It's a similar Italian name to that.
I know, Cipollone. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he's another senator. But these Democrats are calling people out on this stuff.
Rose Blue says she's regressing back to dragging her knuckles.
Yeah, she really is. But the thing that I think Democrats have finally understood is that the people who are in Congress that are Republican, and especially these ultra MAGAs, have no desire to actually govern and make laws. They have no desire.
No,
all they want to do is create trouble and create chaos and waste our time and our taxpayer dollars.
Well, that's their goal, to create chaos. Because it's like, it's chaotic. Look at what the other party did. We're trying to fix it. They want chaos. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you're right.
No, but I think you're right. They want the chaos, but I think they want the chaos for a very nefarious reason. I think they want to continue what they started on January 6th of 2021.
Of course they do.
I think that's what they want. And as long as Democrats are saying, well, gee, they didn't write that bill very well, that's because they don't care. They don't care. They don't know. They don't read. They don't care
about their constituents. They just want to create chaos so they can stay in power by being racist and playing on people's xenophobia.
Yeah. And it's not going to work. They're going to get pulled down.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg says, my favorite saying, just because it looks like they're winning the battle doesn't mean they'll win the war. When she crossed over, she showed me a vision of this dark hand, and there was this little bitty light, and the dark hand almost put it out, and then the light spread, and it seemed to be getting much brighter, and then this dark hand pushed it back, and it became a little bitty flame again, but a little bit bigger of a flame, and then the flame started becoming much brighter, and the dark hand kept trying to push it back, but each time it pushed it back, the flame got larger and brighter. And so that dark cloud, that dark hand is what's going on now. It was a dark hand of Trump. But our flame gets brighter every time, and truth will win out.
Yeah, I think it will. I just think there's too many people who are tuned in to a more enlightened way of looking at things. I just think there's so many people that, you notice that on the not just Democratic side, but on the side of people who are criticizing the ultra MAGAs, there's just so many people who are they're not wasting time even really discussing the drama. They're just calling it out, and they're just saying this is not what we need. We need XYZ. And they're being adults. They're being the adults.
Hello? Hello? I think that we went blank there. I don't know if Colleen is still with us. Yeah, Colleen froze. I suppose I'm still here. If you all can hear me, put in the chat that if you can see me and hear me. Can you see me and hear me? Yeah. Okay, so you can see me and hear me. Okay, I guess I'm still live. Okay, so I pulled a card for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm sorry, not Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I pulled the Ace of Clubs, which means dire misfortune. It means that if she doesn't change, she's not going to be able to change the karma and the consequences of what's going to happen to her. So,
wow. Did you see me leave?
Yes, but
okay.
I kept talking. I kept talking. I asked
Thank you. Thank
chat
you.
to see
Thank
if they
you.
could see me, and they said yes, they could see and hear me. So I'm sorry, I just went ahead and pulled a card.
Oh, yay. Auntie Mel saved the day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened there, but
And then I pulled another card for Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I got the Ace of Hearts, and that means there's going to be a lot of people that are going to turn their back on her. There's going to be a lot of negative stuff coming out about her, and she needs to be aware of people that she thinks she can trust. They're going to betray her, just like she betrayed other people. So
yeah. Oh,
anyway.
wow. Woo. Okay. Wow. All right. So I have the next question then.
Okay.
Mr. George Santos. Now he's got like 5 different organizations investigating him, including the country of Brazil. So I want to know what will really cause him to leave Congress.
Well, he is such a sociopath. He's going to say, I'm not leaving until they ask him to leave. But it's funny. It's not funny, actually. But I see him standing trial in Brazil. So, I don't know. The United States has extradition treaty with Brazil. But I got a feeling something's going to happen to him where he might be flying overseas or something like that. And when he gets off the plane, the Brazilians are there to meet him.
I think he's going to be in the middle of investigations here. I think he's going to come up and be charged here, and then I think either he'll actually start to serve time or whatever. But then I think Brazil will say, "Excuse us, can we have him?" And even if we don't have extradition with Brazil, I bet they send him.
It's funny because he has told as many lies as Donald Trump, but yet a lot of people still drink Trump's Kool-Aid. I guess Trump was just a better liar. But I pulled the 4 of Spades, which is the eye of suspicion. So there's going to be a lot more inquiries into him, a lot of people suspicious. But the bigger thing about this is a lot of those Republicans know that the guy is a psychopath. They know that he's a liar, blah, blah, blah. So does McCarthy. But McCarthy didn't want to do anything because he knew that DeSantis would vote for what McCarthy wanted. And so that's why they hung on to him. But here's the deal. When they have no more use for him, they'll throw him away like a pair of old shoes, and they're going to turn on him like white on rice. There's no loyalty.
Oh, no.
Absolutely none.
There's none.
And McCarthy's going to find that out the hard way, too.
Oh, yeah. I think you're absolutely right on that. So one of the things that I have felt about George Santos is that I think that whoever put him up to even run for that seat, I think in some ways he was sort of a plant. someone that they could control within the Republican Party, because he's too dumb. He just keeps making too many mistakes. He just keeps talking about all the things that he's done wrong. Now that's very similar to Trump, but it serves two purposes. Not only did they give Kevin enough votes, but it also has been a major distraction from Mr. Trump. When you're looking at George, you're like, well, here's our new liar in chief right here. We don't need this other guy for a sideshow.
And Trump never apologized for what he did. Trump just blamed everybody else. Trump was like, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm going to fix it.
Right.
DeSantis, I don't think Trump's the brightest crayon in the box. Trump is just an expert manipulator.
Yeah.
But I mean, I laugh because, who would have ever thought 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that we would even be having this conversation?
Oh, I know that the landscape of politics has changed so much. I never would have thought that I would have been so interested in politics that I would actually throw cards on it. I mean, that I think is just astounding, that we're all so interested in this and not hanging on every word, but we're tuned in every day listening to what's going on. So for George, I got, of course, his card.
Queen of Pentacles.
And
he finished a drag queen. I love it.
Yeah, right. He's given him a bad name. He's trying to pull himself back in things. Temperance is, he's trying to play the role of a congressperson, but I think he already knows the jig is up. He's not going to fulfill his mission, I don't feel. And I feel like by March, end of March, like right around the time Pluto changes signs, I think that's when Mr. Santos is really going to be up to his eyeballs and fitted for an orange jumpsuit. And probably I'm going to say by May, he's probably looking at extradition to Brazil. But I don't think it's good for him. And I think it's going to be very sad.
What sign he's born under?
I don't know. I could.
I pulled a card for him. I got the Ace of Diamonds, which means dire misfortune, fierce enemies, and there's no going back. There's been too many lies out there. But my question is, and this brought up a question, where did he get that money? Because before that, he couldn't pay his rent. I know it was dark money, and I think you hit on something. Because, Colleen, when you were talking, my psychic light bulb went on. And it's like they put him in power because of what you said.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a funny feeling behind the scenes, they were financing that money.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, there's going to be...
That will come out.
Yes. And so many Republicans have taken some form of dark money. They're all guilty. They're all culpable. They're all corrupt. I mean, there's probably a few Democrats who took it too. I mean, just to be fair, that, I'm not going to say that the Democrats are angels and they've never done anything wrong, but I just think there's going to be what's really going to drag him down? That FBI agent who was working with the Russians, that guy, that is going to expose. It's going to be like, you probably never lived in a New York apartment, but in New York, they're known for a couple of different types of vermin, rats and cockroaches, right? You move into an apartment, you open up a kitchen cupboard and the whole door is lined with just a wall of cockroaches. I mean, they can be just so numerous and disgusting.
Oh, I grew up in the South. I can...
Okay, yes, then And that's what I think they're going to find when they start lifting up the lids and the rocks with that guy.
The cockroaches won't have anywhere to go hide. They're going to be exposed.
Yes.
So, I pulled another card for Santos, and I pulled the 8 of clubs again, which means snake, which means actually snake sheds its skin. It tries to, grows a new skin, but it still can't hide. It's still a snake.
Right. It's still a snake. Oh, yeah.
He's an insult to a snake.
Yeah, he is. And he has a weird illness. I mean, it is an illness that he has. And, just like Trump, And I know we should wish them love and light, but I gotta say, it is highly entertaining to watch all of the shenanigans that he goes through.
Well, it's kind of like saying, do we have to wish the Hitlers of the world love and light? I mean, it's okay for us to speak up when there is a heva, that's a Hawaiian word for a great wrong committed, and they keep committing those wrongs. Locks keep honest people honest. We need to speak up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I laugh at how asinine it is, but I cry that people are taking this crap seriously with Santos and Trump and McCarthy and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Boeberts.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're playing to the ultra right. They're playing to that Proud Boy mentality.
Well, one big thing that is also shifting a bit in March is that not only is Saturn going into Pisces, but it's kind of well, it's going to link up with Neptune later in 2024. But in this year, with Saturn in Pisces, it's going to be in the same sign that Neptune has been in. And Neptune has been in Pisces for a very long time. And it correlates with when like the Tea Party got going and all this nonsense in politics. You remember John Boehner saying, well, my main job is not to let President Obama pass anything. It's like, good God, why are you in government?
Well, Mitch McConnell too. Well, I'm not going to break it to the Senate floor.
You're exactly right. That's exactly right. And all of that kind of coincides with Neptune being in the sign of Pisces. Well, Neptune's coming to the end of Pisces, but it's not going to leave until a while. It's still there for a few years. But during this shift with Pluto moving, Saturn moving, then we're going to have a good connection with Mars for Saturn. This is going to begin to expose the not just lies, but the delusions. You know how we have the illusion,
delusion, confusion.
Yes. And all of that kind of thing is going to be exposed over the next couple of years. And these people are going to need, like, when somebody's been in a cult and they have to get reprogrammed to society, they're going to need programs like that because a lot of people have literally been brainwashed. And the MAGAs don't care. The MAGAs are making money off of it, so they don't care.
Well, remember when Hitler lost the war, the people that supported Hitler didn't go away. They just went back in hiding, or they fled to Argentina, but there were still a lot of Nazis left.
Right.
And they just didn't say outwardly that they had supported Hitler. And so I think it's going to be the same thing here. People wonder how Hitler came to power. It's happening here.
Oh, it's happening here. Yeah.
And so we need to speak up so it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you're picking on groups of people, like Trump picked on the Mexicans, this whole thing about them criticizing the border, all about, Trump didn't like the Muslims. He, the whole thing with critical race theory and to Satan in Florida against people of color, against LGBTQ, the whole thing with women's rights. I mean, hello. It's happening. And those ultra right-wing MAGA people say they want democracy. No, they are supporting people who want an authoritarian dictator.
Yeah, or fascism. Kind of the same, but slightly different.
Fascism, pure and simple.
Yeah, this has been coming for such a long time, and Neptune has been a big part of that. And I look forward to the days when people will kind of shed that and say, okay, I was totally programmed, deprogram me, please help me. And there will be a lot of people who come forward for that.
Well, I thought that, we had maybe put a lot of the racism and bigotry behind us, but I was sadly mistaken. My guide said, no, we haven't. And they were right.
Yeah, we haven't.
It's and you have people making it look like it's okay to be a racist or a bigot. And so that just gives the bigots more and the racists more fuel to their fire. And so.
Yeah. And you said something earlier too that I want to go back to that's really important, is that these people who are doing this, these ultra MAGAs, are such a small minority of of just the population and of Republicans. It's
Right.
not all Republicans. And I feel bad for the people who are just kind of normal Republicans. They have no tent to be in. But these ultra MAGAs are running things. They've got so much money behind them. And yet
Well,
it's not everybody. It's a
they
very
are
small
running things. But look what happened in this past election. They were thinking about it was going to be the red wave, and it wasn't even a pink swirl or pink. It wasn't even a pink drop. They only took over the House by what, 5 or 6, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
So, McCarthy's not running the House. Trump is. But you know what? That small group, their wings are going to be clipped because with them, people standing up, they can get rid of McCarthy in a nanosecond. And I'm seeing that people like Santos, they're going to be gone. There's a bunch of representatives that are going to be gone, and that could really change
the House, the balance
again.
Yep, I think so. I think it really will. I think it really will. All right, let me go on to this next one. So this is about Ron DeSantis.
You mean to Satan?
Yes. Oh, my cat just joined us. You see?
Oh, hi, kitty cat.
Hi.
Cats are good energy.
It's not time to
eat telling us we're speaking truth.
Yes, yeah. She loves this. I just have to
pull the cover to Satan. Look what I pulled.
Okay, so that answers that question, because all those students that were protesting at that college, I'm thinking that will have an impact, that will have to, he will have to back up. Oh, Kitty, don't move the laptop, honey. Don't move. She's like rubbing her face against the laptop lid.
It's funny, whenever I do a video, Lucky always comes up here, and she was up here earlier. I had to rub her. Oh. She's every time, never fails.
Yeah. All right, so I think we covered DeSantis. Yes, he's going to get 10 swords in his back. Yay! Okay, and then Jack Smith on Trump.
Well, I think Satan thinks that he's got, friends that'll back him up, but with the crap he's pulling, there are going to be a lot of people that will stab him in the back. And then I pulled another card for him. It was the 10 of Wands, which means, struggles, this, that. But he's not going to win.
No, and I mean, even Trump has stuff on him, so Trump can stab him in the back too. I don't think Trump wants him as an adversary, even though I don't think on a national stage, I don't think his authoritarian tactics are going to play. I don't think they're going to like
Satan. That's a death card, not a physical death, but a death of his career.
Yeah, I think that campaign is going nowhere quick.
I'm sorry, you were asking something about Trump and I interfered. I'm sorry.
No, it's great. It's fine. Jack Smith. Now he's got those 2 different things that he's doing on Trump. And I'm wondering, with Mar-a-Lago documents, are we ever gonna really see what happened? Is it ever really gonna be public?
Oh yeah, we'll see a lot.
Oh, great.
It's funny, I was talking to Linda Grindle this morning on my way to work, and we were talking about, I guess, Ron Johnson, or I forget, but anyway, that the FBI people came out and said they were told to leave Trump alone.
Yes.
Because they were fearful of what he might do to them. And I thought, okay, but they weren't fearful about when they knew what they were doing against Hillary Clinton, and they were investigating what she did with documents.
Right.
The thing is, they're trying to say, well, other presidents had documents. Yeah, but the FBI knew that Trump was lying about it. They knew, because they asked him to turn over the documents, and they knew he was lying, and they didn't want to do anything. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes to the surface about how the FBI was trying to shield Trump, because they were fearful that Trump would tell on them.
Yeah. And I just hope, those FBI agents, are they the ones, though, who are going to take the fall, or will Trump ultimately take the fall?
Well, Trump would let anybody take the fall. He let his own kids take the fall.
Sure.
So much was traced directly up to him.
Yeah.
Merrick Garland is, he's taking his time, as rightfully he should, because they're going to make sure that they can get convictions that'll stick.
Did you see the clips of him responding to the congressional committees, Ted Cruz and Jim Jordan, questioning him about stuff? they said such ridiculous stuff. And he's a Scorpio too, just like Joe Biden. And he stood up to them and he was like, I have to strenuously object to that. You're he used a more fancy word, but you're not saying it right, what I had in that memo. And he was good. He was really good.
Yeah,
So
Linda was telling me about that this morning. I didn't see it.
yeah.
But Merrick Garland crucified Jim Jordan, and Ted Cruz looks like he's part billy goat with all that stuff he's got growing on his face.
The stuff that they were saying was just ludicrous, and I cringed. I'm looking at the cameras on Merrick Garland, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, what are you thinking, Scorpio? You got such a poker face. He didn't let anything show, and then he came out with that. It was really good.
It's pretty obvious that those Republicans are doing. I don't even know what these congressional hearings are about, to be honest with you. I think they said they're going to do one thing, but they've taken it in so many directions. But it's pretty obvious that it's about them getting even with the Democrats because of the January 6th probe. That's exactly.
And they don't have anything else to do that has to do with governing, so they have to take up their time somehow. That's what I'm thinking.
Divide, deceive, distract, divert, detract. That's what they're doing.
Well, I threw a few cards on that, and what I came up with was the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. So we're gonna. I do think those secrets are going to come out. I think everything is going to come out.
They're going to come out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's going to come out.
I pulled the star, which means things coming to the surface. Well, the moon is, but the star is they think that they're in the limelight and they're looking good, but it's going to bite them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how much do you think? I think there's going to be some people in this committee that's going to come forward and tell everything they know, and it's going to make the committee members look like complete goofs and complete liars.
Well, I was just looking at like news headlines, and a couple of the, not just like YouTube or actual like television style news, but just like newspaper kind of things online. And the major bulk of Republicans are rejecting Trump. They just can't find somebody else who's a good fit. And
I think they know better than to try to work with DeSatan because he's too MAGA.
Yeah, and they're not drawn to DeSatan. They're drawn to, what was the guy's name? Tim Scott, South Carolina senator. He's black. He's conservative. He's pro-life. He doesn't have any baggage. Online, he looks like a Boy Scout.
I'll tell you who's working behind the scenes is Liz Cheney.
I bet.
I don't like her politics, but I still got a funny feeling at some point Wes Moore, he's the governor of, I keep saying this, of Maryland.
Oh, yes, he's wonderful.
The man's amazing.
He is. Oh, the first time I saw him on television, I was like, oh my God, that guy's got a future. You could just see like a crown of stars behind his head.
When I first saw Barack Obama, I said,
right?
Be president.
That's how I felt when I first saw Michael Jackson on television.
And that's the same feeling that I get for Wes Moore. He's going to be president.
Yeah, I think so.
And a lot sooner than later.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think he's got a really good shot. So I looked at Tim Scott. He's probably going to end up being at least a candidate running for the primary for the Republican Party. So we'll see what happens, because nobody's going to want dissent. And DeSantis, I feel, has so much, like Trump, he has so much legal garbage coming down on his head. He's not going to be able to run. It's just something's going to throw him out. This mess with the students and the mess with all the stuff he's doing in Florida, something's going to stick to him in such a way that I don't think he's going to be able to run. Well,
if you want to be able to read Catcher in the Rye in school, and if you want to be able to read To Kill a Mockingbird in school, that was required reading when I was in high school, and I grew up in a very conservative South. They're banning books. I wonder what he would do if they said we're going to ban the Bible in schools. You can't say the word gay in the schools. If a teacher has a child read a book in the public schools, they're going to try to charge him or her with a felony. It's like, no.
Yeah,
He's not going to get by with all of that. But
no.
I think we need to speak up. I mean, he's already on the campaign trail and he's, blasting Biden and blah, 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 blah. But
it's upside down land. I mean, it's just like cuckoo.
he made a huge mistake when he took on Disney.
Right? I know. I think there's many, many more repercussions coming from that. I
That's going to
don't think.
shoot him in the foot.
Well, and they did take away the tax thing. Now what are they going to do? Now all those people around there, all their taxes are going to go up because they got to support Disney. I don't think they're going to be happy about that.
I'm not going to be happy about that.
No, not when they work for Disney and they probably don't even make minimum wage. But
they don't want Disney to pack up and leave because it brings a lot of money to Florida.
Yeah,
so
it would be hard for them to leave, but
I know, but they can make things miserable.
They can. So do you have
any? Don't mess with Mickey Mouse.
Right? Who messes with the mouse?
Nobody.
Gosh, that's just so stupid.
It'll be the mouse that roared, that's for sure.
Right. So what about your Chicago mayoral race? That's very interesting.
Well, I had predicted that Lori Lightfoot wouldn't win.
Well, you were right.
I thought we'd get a Spanish-speaking mayor, but I think, Vallis, he says he's a Democrat, but not everybody in Chicago, don't jump on me. But, I think he was on some kind of panel that was anti-LGBTQ. And, he wants to do all these charter schools. He is pro-police department. And I think, Lightfoot didn't do anything too much about crime in Chicago. It's not as bad as what the media makes it. There's a lot of, too much gun violence. One gunshot wound is too much. But, the biggest percentage of it comes from very small areas. And so, I don't know. But I think, I forget the opponent's name.
Brandon
Johnson, I think.
Yeah.
But I saw him speak and I really like him.
Yeah.
He's going to beat Vallis. He better go out and do some heavy duty campaigning.
Well, he was on Morning Joe, and they're having Vallis on Morning Joe, I think, I don't know, sometime. And so, I mean, they're getting a little exposure there.
Vallis is more like a Republican hiding in Democratic skin.
When I first started reading about him, I was like, oh, so it's one Republican and one Democrat, even though you guys have that. What do they call that? That way that you guys vote where you have different choices?
Primary?
Well, but it was it's not just like one person wins in the primary. It's like, well, if this guy gets a certain percentage of vote, then he goes ahead. And if he doesn't get enough vote, then he doesn't go ahead, that thing. So I thought I liked that. I thought that was really, really smart.
Well, I can't vote in Chicago because I live in the suburbs. I live in the, so, I mean, we say Chicago, but because it's got so many suburbs, but
yeah,
I live in the suburbs and I don't live in the city. But I'm close enough, but I don't live there. But I still think that not Vallis, the other candidate, for some reason.
Brandon.
I
don't know what his last name is.
He's got to do a lot of campaigning, but we know he's going to get the African American vote, and I think he'll get a lot of the Hispanic vote, and he'll get a lot of the LGBTQ vote, and so I'm thinking that he's going to win.
He probably has a good chance, but didn't Vallis get like 34% of the vote in this last runoff?
Well, that depends on who went out and voted.
Oh, okay.
And so, in a lot of the ethnic neighborhoods, a lot of times they don't go vote because they're busy trying to make a living or busy doing this. Yeah. Yeah. But I think, I see a lot of people going to vote, and I don't know what percentage. Why does his name keep slipping my mind?
I don't know. Just call him Brandon.
I don't know what percentage of the vote he got.
Low, like 17%.
But he still beat Lightfoot.
Yes, Lightfoot only got like 2%.
I'm not so concerned that Vallis got 30%.
Okay.
No, it's quite a while between now and the election. Yeah. And I think Brandon can still pull it off.
I hope so.
But I tend to think if Vallis gets it, then he's got to answer to the city council. And a lot of them are Democrats. And so we'll see how that plays out.
Was Lightfoot a Democrat or a Republican?
No, Chicago's had Democratic mayors since the 1940s.
Oh, so yeah, that's why Vallis says he's a Democrat.
Correct.
Oh, joy. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
But,
So we have to wait
I'm
and see
sure
on
that
that.
the LGBTQ community is going to be up in arms. So we'll see. But Chicago politics is like the weather. Wait a minute, it'll change. If Vallis gets it, he'll be a one-term mayor. He won't be able to build a machine. I think we need another Daley in office is what we
Oh,
need.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely do. That would be good. Well, it's been about an hour. Shall we try to get a message just for everybody that's been so kind in the chat and just give everybody something to send them off?
Go ahead.
Okay, I will. I'll pull a card for everybody.
I say March is going to be the month of people being responsibility for the stuff they created, especially in politics.
Okay.
And we'll start to see indictments coming down very, very soon.
Yes, I think
once
so.
a few come down, the truth. I heard a saying that said, a lie can go around the world 1.5 times while truth is still lacing its shoelace. It's still lacing its boots. But once truth comes out, then it gains momentum. And that's exactly where we're at now. The avalanche of truth has just begun and it's going to gain a lot of momentum. So I think the key word for this month is responsibility, that the people that have committed a lot of this crap are going to be held responsible.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, the card that I pulled is the Four of Wands, and it's not like the regular Rider-Waite. This Four of Wands speaks to having a solid foundation and balance. And you notice that the Dancer is standing on a spiral, and that stands for the Fibonacci series, that everything in nature has a pattern. And if you can live within nature, if you can be solid within nature, within yourself, within your own nature, then you will be successful. And I think that also means standing in your truth and not letting other people's whatever cloud your judgment. You have to be truthful for yourself.
The thing I like in the back of that card is the pyramid.
Yep.
Which, in my opinion, I don't know what it means in relation to the cars, but I would intuit that it means, the ancient Egyptians to build that were pretty technologically advanced.
Yes.
And so I think a lot of this misinformation, stuff like that, will ultimately be put by the wayside. Conspiracy theories and, the truth of science will set us free. So I see like a lot more rationale, common sense coming back.
Oh my gosh, that's such a wonderful interpretation. Thank you. Yes, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Oh, that's beautiful.
And I pulled the 10 of Cups, which is like,
oh, great.
So I think we can celebrate because we will see people being held responsible. And I think the month of April is going to be the month of action.
Yeah, I think so. There's so much happening astrologically. There's just March is in a few days here. It's just going to start popping off like popcorn. It's just going to pop, 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 pop. And then in April, take action to get rid of it, take care of it, clean it up, do what needs to be done.
I pull one more card.
Beautiful.
It's the world. He's holding the world in his hand. And turning our backs on, the misinformation and truth prevailing, the world of truth.
Yeah. And where do you want to be in the world? What do you want to see in the world?
That's right.
I don't think people want to see what they're seeing now. And we have the power to change it.
We do. That's why we can't lose our voice.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, Mel, this has been great. I love working with you. I love doing readings with you. It's so fun. We're gonna have to do this again.
Let's do it again. I always say we'll do it again. It's my fault that we've waited so long.
No worries, please. I'm over it. Don't worry about it. I know you've got a lot of stuff coming up, but I'll just keep sending you a text and saying, please come on my show, and it'll happen again.
Better yet, just call me.
Okay, I will do that too.
Because if you call me, then I'm going to answer the phone.
Nice. Thanks,
And
Mel.
I'm going to say, okay.
Wonderful. That sounds good. Well, good luck with everything going on. Have a great Sunday. I know that's going to be your day to put the feet up. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for all of your messages and questions and everything. It's been really, really fun. Sorry about the little blip in the middle. We are having a rainstorm here, and usually that'll
do it.
Yeah. And my kitty had nothing to do with it. My kitty.
Oh, the kitty's a sweetie.
She is.
What's her name?
Nyx.
I'm sorry, say again.
Nyx. Nyx. Nyx.
What did they call that in Bell Book and Candle? The cat was her, what did they call that?
Familiar.
Her familiar, yeah.
Yeah.
So is the cat your familiar?
Definitely. She definitely is. She's with me all the time. Yeah, she is. And she has a sister too. And my daughter is connected at the hip with the other one. It's very nice. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Mel. Many blessings to you. Love and light to you and your family and everything that you're doing. Love and light to everybody who's in the chat. And we'll see you later. Bye.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
All right.